DKOldies.
Hi, and welcome to the DKOldies podcast. This is podcast number 5, fifth week in a row.
Number 5.
We got we're doing it early this week because Anthony is getting married on Friday, so it's exciting.
Thank you.
But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to go right into the rare games. We're going to show all the rare games that came out this week that we bought from our Sell Your Games program at DKOldies Sell Your Games. Then Anthony and I are going to play Cyber Stadium Series Base Wars together. We've both. Have you ever played that game?
Never played it.
I played it a long time ago, so it'll be interesting. We'll probably be as good as we were with Contra. Then we're going to go into our featured system. We're going to talk about the N64, third greatest system of all time. We'll go over that. We'll break it down. We'll do a repair center. We're going to have a repair center clip, and then we're just going to talk to Anthony, see what he thinks about things. So let's start it off. Let's do the rare games.
Rare game number 1.
Show what came in this week.
Castlevania Dracula X. I've never played this.
That's an exciting game that came in this week, I think.
Yeah.
It's got to be the rarest Castlevania game.
Yeah, apparently.
Did you ever play it?
Never played it.
It's pretty cool. It's very cartoony, I'd say.
Yeah.
I feel like all the older games they had an art style. The art style's changed so much over the years that you go back and especially looking at Castlevania, this one compared to another Castlevania we're going to show later, the art style, it looks like a Smurfs cartoon.
In the Castlevanias?
Playing, but if you were to draw or a He-Man cartoon,
okay,
that's old style of
Definitely.
And into the Castlevania, it looks like a cool game. It looks like a really polished Castlevania type game, but I don't think it has the depth that some of the other Castlevania games have. I think they tried to. I think as far as Castlevania games go, I'd say this is more of an action type Castlevania game.
Still side scroll, right?
It is. It is, and it looks really cool. But I don't think it has the depth and custom stuff that it has in the later games, and it doesn't have the more of the RPG elements of the earlier games.
Yeah.
So, if you like a nice action Castlevania, but if you're just a Castlevania fan in general, this is one of the rarest games to get. So I'd say this is a good one. So, what else we got?
Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers.
Do we have any other Super Nintendo games? Okay,
that's it.
Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers.
Awesome. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. My whole life.
Okay. And
I
have you played a lot of Power Ranger games?
I have played a lot of the early Sega, the Genesis ones, but this one I didn't even know existed until I started working here, and I always wanted to play it. And I did actually play it today.
And what do you think of it?
It's. Can I say that it's bad? It's pretty bad. It's
I think you're being nice.
I
think you're holding back.
I am holding back. It's because I was never a big fan of Mario Kart, especially for the SNES, because you always get stuck on the outsides, or once you get spun around, you're done. This game is like a worse version of that.
So you're comparing it to Mario Kart.
I am.
And you're saying it's a little worse than Mario Kart?
Yeah.
This is horrible. This game is so bad.
Okay.
If you compare it to, you can't compare it to Mario Kart. It is a racer game, and it's supposed to be like Mario Kart. I think Power Rangers were like, oh my god, Mario Kart's so awesome. We got Power Rangers, so let's just make that into a game. It's so bad, but you drive around on these little motorcycles, and it looks kind of like F-Zero.
Yeah.
But worse. And you're like Power Rangers. They all have crazy weapons, and the fighting is what's all about it. Yeah. So you'd think Power Rangers, you'd be able to really fight with this.
Yeah, like a road rash thing, where you can fight.
You would think, but instead, the only weapon is a ball. It's like an orange ball or something, or a green ball or something. But that's all you got is a ball, and you throw a ball at someone and they die. And it is the worst Power Rangers game I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
But if you like Power Rangers and you want to collect Power Rangers games, then I'm all about collecting.
Yeah.
I like collecting I collect comic books. I used to, when I was a kid, I collect baseball cards. That's a little old school.
Yeah.
But now I collect video games. And if you have a Power Rangers collection, you want to go and get Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers.
Yeah, and it's sad
because it's the worst game ever.
I probably will buy it because I do collect Power Ranger stuff, but I don't even think I want it in my house because it's so bad.
Real quick, who's your favorite Power Ranger? What color?
When Tommy
Real quick.
when Tommy turned into the White Ranger.
When Tommy turned into the White Ranger.
Yeah, I like the White
wow.
Ranger. It was cool.
You want to ask me what my favorite Power Ranger was?
No, but you can tell me.
I hated them all.
Terrible, man.
We got some PlayStation games in.
Oh, Medieval, cool.
Some PlayStation Complete games. I believe it's Medieval, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played this when I was younger. I had the demo.
Very nice. We got this one in mint condition. I love this game. Do you play this game when you were a kid?
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like this is the Dark Souls for the PlayStation 1. It's like
Right.
Dark Souls with like the artwork from what's that? Nightmare on Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like that sort of style.
Definitely.
I read about it and they said it's they wanted to make a 3D action game based on Ghosts and Goblins. And I think that's what they've really done here.
Yeah.
The opening scene is awesome. It's a huge environment.
Mm-hmm.
This game's amazing. Love
Yeah,
it.
it
Love
actually is scary.
This is the first, of. There's a trilogy, so there's 3 of them.
Did not know that.
Yeah, awesome game. PS1 complete Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. This is my favorite Castlevania game. It is, I guess, my favorite. If I were to play them all today, this would be my favorite to play now. My favorite of all time that I ever played when I was a kid was Castlevania 2. But this game is everything you want. It is the Super Metroid of Castlevania games.
Now, it's still a side-scroller, right?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that
Side-scroller.
was really cool that PlayStation still was putting out side-scrollers. even though-
This game perfectly matches the action with the RPG elements. As you customize your whip and your guy, it's so cool to build up, and then the searching and exploring. I mean, if anyone knows Castlevania, you know this one's awesome.
Sweet.
Love it. You never played this?
No.
You got to play it. Got to play it. Boom! Why don't you talk about that game?
Resident Evil 2, I did play this for the 64. When I first started working here, I borrowed it. For the 64, I did not like it. I don't like the controls much, but I've never played it for the PlayStation. I'm assuming you have before?
I played it when it first came out.
Yeah.
And it's so cool back then when I played it. It was so creepy. It was so scary. It was so. I would play it in my basement in the dark, and it was just. It blew my mind how different it was.
It's one of those games that can actually get you scared. Like you set up for it, and
games back then were sort of corny and sort of like. I mean, like this Medieval game. It's like a Dark Souls type game, but it's like. Everything has that sort of
a little cheesy,
goofy, corny feel, right? Well, this game just totally went the other way.
Raw.
They went instead of Michael Keaton Batman, they went Dark Knight Batman.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of Dark Knight, as we know. You hate it. But
I do.
this game is awesome.
Yeah, it's in there, so everyone knows.
They've remade it so many times
Double disc.
because it's still they can remaster it and it's still the actual gameplay and the story still holds up. It's amazing.
Very cool.
Right. So we got some new. We've been getting a lot of turbo graphics in lately. Rich, can we see this all right like that?
Good.
The Bonk's Adventure, which was like the Sonic and the Mario, that was supposed to be their flagship title.
That was the TurboGrafx main character. I'm
Yeah,
assuming?
yeah. He was like a Mario type, Sonic type that would run side scroller, bash stuff with his head. He'd eat stuff. I mean, I played it when I was a kid. I've watched it as I've been older, and the production value of it, the game, they really spent a lot of time on it. I think it's an awesome game. So much you can do in it. It's Bonk's Adventure it still holds up today. I think is an awesome side-scrolling platformer type game.
Nice.
Now this one, Dragon's Curse. Do you know anything about that?
No, not at all. Well, most of the TurboGrafx I don't. But
For the Sega Master System, they came out with a game called Wonder Boy. There's a bunch of them, and this is it's not called Wonder Boy for some reason, but it's basically a Wonder Boy game. It's a side-scrolling like action type game. It's not bad. It's like they tried to do a Metroid type Castlevania mix of a game, but also make it like a Mario jumping style game. It's like they've mixed all genres here. The music actually sounds like a Mega Man game.
Well, it sounds like a good concept that they had going.
Yeah, they just took a bunch of stuff from everything and bashed it together. It's an okay game. It's a good game if you don't have high hopes.
Right.
If you go in low, you'll feel better about this game. But yeah, we got that in turbo graphics. Is that everything?
We got one more.
Oh, we got one more.
The Captain America, and the Avengers for the NES.
I like to buy a bunch of Captain America games and the Avengers games whenever the movie is about to come out, just because I love the Avengers movies. And have you ever seen the Avengers movies?
No.
No, you're awesome. We got this one incomplete. It's super nice. There's the game.
Wow, that is nice.
And
there's not even any dust on the.
Oh, it's tight. It's really nice. And there's the manual.
Stand up, didn't you?
I thought it was, yeah. And then the box there. These games they're not the greatest games in the world. I'm not going to lie. I used to play it in the arcade all the time. I remember my friend Jeff and I, we cut school and we walked to the Exton Mall and we played this game all day until we beat it on the arcade.
You beat an arcade game?
We beat it from start to finish, yeah.
That's wild.
Just all day instead of going to school.
I'm assuming it's like, I played Spider-Man and Batman for NES. I'm assuming they're all kind of similar to that.
I would say they're in that style. This was a little cooler because you could be all the different Avengers. But yeah, cool. It's the same style. So DK Oldies Rare Games, this is what came in this week. This is what we've bought from collections through our Sell Your Games program. If you have any games like this or any games at all, we're buying them. We have a Sell Your Games page where we list all of our prices that we'll pay, and you send them in. We cut you a check that day, and Anthony, we buy games every day, right?
Every single day.
Boxes come in. It's like Christmas time every day.
Every single day.
DK Oldies, Sell Your Games. Let's do our featured game. Ready?
Are we playing this?
Yeah, we're going to play Cyber Stadium Base Wars because a guy on Facebook, Steven DeCombre, he was like, you got to play this game.
Suggested it.
Did he say why? Do you know why?
No.
He just said he
loved it.
He said he thought it was cool because you can fight in the game, which is awesome. I always enjoyed like Mutant League Hockey, the Mutant League games.
Go on Facebook and suggest a game and we'll play it. Let's start it over here.
We'll try to.
Let's get some sound on here.
And here we are.
Playing Cyber Stadium Series Base Wars, the terrible name for a game. Should be.
Wait, hold on.
Should be like Cyber Base Wars.
Can you hit start and come in? I think I already messed this up.
No, just go. Just pick a team.
Well, I didn't put it on 2-player.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that. I'm the red guy.
Look at that. Wait, we both have the same idea.
Are those my giant pectoral muscles as a
close.
pitcher? Like, there's no way. Oh, I got like a cannon.
What? Yeah. How am I supposed to hit that?
That's what it's all about.
Woo!
If I got a cannon, how do I have giant
What is
pectoral
up? How do I steal?
muscles?
How do I keep going?
Okay, so like third, it's like RBI, baseball stars. Alright.
You can only go to one base at a time, apparently.
No, you have to go up and B. It'll take you to the next.
Dude, look at this wheel guy.
I'm just gonna shoot my strike in there.
Wrong button.
I want to see if I can throw like a curveball.
Oh, I was gonna say, if I got a home.
Where's my center fielder? Oh, he's like up there. He's so
Oh,
fast.
I see.
Oh, you're getting out. Oh, we got a fight.
Oh, what?
Dude, Steven DeCombre knows what he's talking about. This game is awesome.
Oh, look at that. This is like
This is like your Power Rangers dream.
Yeah. See, this is what Zeo Racer should have done.
Zero Racer should have played baseball?
No, the fights.
Just the fighting.
with bikes.
That's all the
I
baseball
got this
pile
crazy
today.
hand that like jabs out.
Yeah,
like,
and
you
I don't
can't
have
reach
any
me.
of that.
It's like my hand boomerang. Oh.
Look at that, he's got him
Oh,
cornered.
this is ridiculous. Oh, what? He's safe?
Number 1.
You're getting beamed.
Oh, that was what's that called?
I'm just gonna beam you.
That's all you wanted?
I wanted to load the bases
There goes Homer.
for double play. Is that guy in a wheelchair?
I think we both are right now. Ah,
Oh, I don't even care about the podcast anymore. We're just gonna play
yeah,
this
I
game.
actually really like this game.
So, like, I grew up playing Baseball Stars and RBI Baseball, and this game is so much
This is
better.
what you should have been playing.
This game is what we should have
You
been
got
playing.
robots.
Like, my favorite game of all time was a game called Archon, and it's
Yeah.
for the NES, but I played it on the Commodore 64, and it was like that. Like, it was chess, and then you would fight. If you strike me out,
I guarantee I'm going to strike you
Fired.
out right now. Okay. This is going right down the middle. Look at this strikeout, people. Comment on that.
all right. Don't look at me while you play.
Oh, what? You got to go.
Dude,
So
I'm
it's
gonna.
B, it's B?
It is over for you. What do you think of that?
All right, go. I dare you to go. Oh, it's on. Who you guys rooting for?
Oh, it's like I get penalized. Look at that.
You guys are rooting for me?
Blue. Trust blue.
Didn't Blades of Steel have fighting too, right? I like to play
I don't
little
know.
Blades of Steel.
Not like this.
Yeah,
I'm
this
like gonna
is-
die.
This is
I'm gonna die.
We should just be.
There it is. Once he gets in the corner, gives me old Buster Douglas.
All right, we're playing just a 1, right?
I don't have one yet?
No. I
Are you
loaded the
serious?
bases, then I got you out. Are you throwing like grounders?
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude, that's
I
a home
totally,
run.
I gave that to you. Like none other.
Oh, I just took that double. You didn't know how
I
to throw
dare
it the
you.
second.
I dare you.
Look at this one-wheel guy.
He's the best.
He looks fast, even though he's only got one wheel. Oh, come on.
You know, I like baseball games. Me and Jay were talking about this, and I despise baseball, but I
like-
really like baseball games.
I like old baseball games. They're simple.
So you're gonna
We're
we're
going
gonna
in space. Look at this.
we're going, that was a
You're like-
hard hit.
What?
What?
Oh, they're sending a guy down. Oh, but that's what happens when I hit a home run. Like a satellite in space just starts. They send out a fighter and like fly around in space. Like,
Where? Ah!
do you know how much money it was to send that spaceship out in space and fly around?
Especially back then.
That's how happy they were.
China for a year.
That's how excited. Could have been China for a year. That's how excited they were about my home run. Dude, I'm a robot. I would be able to hit it so much further than that.
You gotta see. I'm telling you, like those last couple hits, I was giving them to you. Now I'm just gonna show you that I can.
I just hit
strike
it
you
into
out.
like out of the universe.
I think it was still.
You're just throwing ground balls the whole time.
Then you gotta catch on to it.
All right, it's 2-0. I win.
We're back to our featured system, going N64. How did this work here? We did first podcast. We did NES.
Yeah.
The next podcast we did Super Nintendo. We're on like the 5th podcast, and we're only doing our 3rd
Maybe
system.
we didn't do a system every podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well,
Either way.
for our 5th podcast, we're doing the 3rd greatest system ever made, which is the N64. It really changed things up. We went the. Does it look good like that? Yeah.
Looks good.
So, Nintendo NES, Super Nintendo, basically same type of system, same type of games. All of a sudden, PlayStation comes out.
Yeah.
I think Sega's doing weird things now with
Right.
disc drives and whatnot.
CD stuff like that.
Nintendo, they're like, oh, we're still going cartridge, but we're gonna go new funky controller, and it's going to enable us all to play in the 3D world. Now, I'm going to assume that you hated this change.
No. I'd see. It's awesome that they stuck with the cartridge. That's so cool. They could have
like
went.
that?
They could have went the typical route. Oh, everyone's doing this. Let's do this. They came out. Everyone loves a 64 controller. Came out with great games. Stayed true to the cartridge.
But what did they do different?
What did they do?
Because PS1, they had a lot of 3D games and stuff. Not 3D games, but they had a lot of like more in-depth games. But you had that terrible controller. You still had the thumb pad controller, so you couldn't do anything. This game, or this system, they have the thumb pad controller, or not the thumb pad, the thumbstick. So now it immerses you into a 3D world. Just a simple little stick. That's what Nintendo did.
Awesome.
And it changed everything.
It
Changed everything. I mean, you got Super Mario World.
Yes.
Biggest 3D game ever at the time. Comes out, blows people's minds. They're like, I can't even, mass hysteria in the streets, basically.
Yeah.
People just started slapping each other when they saw this.
Sure, that happened.
And what else? Rich has Mario Kart, in the 3D world. It's like real life
Advanced
Mario.
Version of the
People
SNES
started going
Mario
crazy.
Kart. Yep.
And then GoldenEye, oh my God, you hate that.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask. It was amazing.
And one of my favorite game on this. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played them all, so I can't say. But favorite game I've ever played.
Blast
No. Super Smash. Come on.
Super Smash. You like that one?
Amazing. The most competitive game I've ever played. To me, the most competitive game. We guys around here, we literally have like tournaments after work some days, and it never gets old. It's one of the best games ever.
Anthony's favorite character in Super Smash?
Do you know this?
Of course I know it.
What is it?
It's
It's all the greatest character in the game.
It's a tiny little pink little guy. Powerful Kirby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kirby all day. And who's the champion of this place?
What are you talking about?
I'm the champ with Kirby.
Is that true? Jay is over there saying he's the champ.
Of course they're going to deny it.
Who do you play as?
Ooh.
Who do you play as, Jay?
Jay
Pikachu?
plays as Pikachu. Wow.
I would always be Samus when I played.
Yeah. He rules too.
I was never very good at Super Smash though. The cool thing about this game, or maybe the uncool thing about this was coming out at a time where there was rapid change in technology so fast, and within the years that this system was out, they started making better graphics, and they started to bust out of the capacity of the original memory card for this. So Nintendo came out with if you go in here, the memory is in here in this little jumper pack, and they had an expansion pack that you could buy for enhanced graphics. I remember I got Shadow Man for the N64. I was so excited to have Shadow Man.
Yep.
So I went out and I bought the expansion pack, and then I played Shadow Man, and I'm like, wow, there's not a lot of enhanced graphics going on here. It's the same sort of deal. Like, what's the deal? But it was a really big game. It was a terrible game.
I hated that
But
game.
I remember I spent like $150 or something to get Shadow Man when it first came out, and the expansion pack.
So it included.
And I was so excited. I was like, this is gonna it's gonna burn my retinas or something. It's gonna look so clear. And it didn't look that clear at the time. It looked kind of the same. But they Donkey Kong, Perfect Dark, Majora's Mask, they're all enhanced by the expansion pack. I think Donkey Kong, you need it to play. And I think is it the single player of Perfect Dark? You need the expansion pack as well.
I'm pretty sure. Is it the single player?
Yeah. Nintendo 64.
Awesome console.
A historic system. There we go. All right, we're going to end this podcast number 5, DKOldies.com, with just talking with Drew and Anthony. What'd you do this week, buddy?
This week, what did I do? Came to work, tested a ton of games. What do
You
think I
started
did?
borrowing my Tums.
I did. I've had, which I appreciate.
You're
so
getting
much.
married.
I don't know if
You're gonna
that's
have to buy
the
your own-
reason why.
You're going to have to buy your own Tums now.
Well, I've had heartburn, regardless of what you just said. I've had heartburn
You nervous?
for some reason. No, I'm not nervous. Maybe getting up in front of people, but the actual getting married part, I'm not nervous about. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's something else. Maybe I'm just getting old. Heart starts to burn a little bit. Asked Drew for some Tums.
I think you're nervous.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, he hooked it up with a whole thing of Tums. That was nice.
I gave you all of them. I said you can
You
keep
did.
them.
I thought you were gonna like turn around and be like, actually, I want those back, which hasn't happened yet.
That hurts me.
I'm sorry.
So what I wanted to talk to you about, because we talked a little bit this week during my going back and getting coffee while you're testing games,
Mhm.
and we talked a little bit about what's that clothing store, Abercrombie and Finch.
Yeah.
And you hate
Fitch or
Fitch.
something.
Yeah, all the cool kids they wear their clothes or whatever,
Yeah, the cool.
and you hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking about you, and would you consider yourself a conformist or a non-conformist?
As in.
Like conforming to things. You don't like
I-
people that conform, I would assume.
I'm a non-conformist.
A non-conformist.
Not because I want to be different or I want to be the special guy. It's more because the majority of people, I personally think, have pretty bad opinions on things. So if everybody is involved in this one thing, I'm going to assume that it's bad. Not that I won't give it a chance, but I would assume it's probably bad. So I don't like to conform to things.
So what do you think about me? Do you think I am a conformist or a non-conformist?
Why would you? Wow,
Because I like to know what you think about me, Anthony. Your opinion matters to me.
That sucks for me, because I don't like to lie, but I'm gonna try my best to do so. Just kidding. You are.
No, don't.
You're not.
Hit me straight, Anthony. I can take it.
You're not a conformist.
Come on.
I think you have your own original thing. That's why I like you. I don't just like you because you're my boss, but you have
I think
your
you're
own.
scared right now.
I'm not scared. This is the truth. I always thought that, when I started working here, you were an original person and don't always do things just because other people are doing them. So, with that being said, yes, I don't think that you're a conformist. I think you're somewhat in my boat.
All right, good political answer. You really skirted around that question. Do you like being part of a group?
Depending on the group. Depends on the group. Okay. Is this a yes or no?
Yeah.
Do
you like being part of a Power Rangers fan club?
Yes, because it stands for. I think that we all are equal, so it stands.
What if
for
they are a Power Rangers fan club that also loves Taylor Swift?
I would somehow find a way to destroy that group.
But what if they're like the only Power Ranger fan club in the world?
Then I would not be a part of it.
You would not.
No.
What if they agree to keep their Taylor Swift comments to only during the Taylor Swift segment, and that during the Power Rangers fan club segment they would never talk about Taylor Swift? Would you go to that group then?
No, because I knew that they stood for something that was just
couldn't take it.
Terrible.
So you would be like, I can't even. Would you be friends with them if they were nice people?
Yes.
But you wouldn't go to their group.
No. Like, see, you like what you want, like what you like.
But you like the Power Rangers.
I do.
But because they like Taylor Swift, you won't be around them?
Well, I wouldn't be a part of their group if the group had something to do with Taylor Swift. It was like
No, it didn't. It didn't. It was like a two-part group. The first half was Power Rangers, right? And they dress up in Power Ranger stuff, and they play Power Ranger games, and they talk about it. It's like mass Power Ranger craziness. Yeah. And then part 2, they have a little lunch break in between, eat some sandwiches. There's a little 5-10 minutes, right? They get out of their Power Ranger gear, and then boom, Taylor Swift. And they said, Anthony, you will never see the Taylor Swift side. What would you do?
I think I might be able to make an exception, but yeah, I think that'd be fine with me.
Okay, and let's say that now that you're at the Power Ranger meeting, right?
God.
In the middle of the meeting, right? It was by accident, but some Taylor Swift people, they come in early to the Power Rangers thing, and they sit down, and they're like,
out.
We're just going to hang out here and wait until the Taylor Swift part.
I'd be like, no, get your Taylor Swift.
Would you say something, or would you just sit there and just be so angry?
Bite my tongue?
Yeah.
I would probably bite my tongue and just sit there and be angry because, who am I to tell someone what they like except for...
But they assured you that no Taylor Swift mixing would be there.
But I'm too nice. That's one of my problems. I'm too nice. I would just be like,
You would just take it.
I probably would take it, which is a sign of weakness, I guess. I don't know, or maybe
Maybe.
it's a sign of kindness. I'm
Maybe.
not sure.
Yeah, we don't know. We'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
Now, what was I going to ask you next? The nonconformists, right?
Okay.
What do you think about them? Like people that like, there's groups everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like remember in like high school or junior high or whatever, like they'd all be sitting at the cafeteria in their different groups. Like all
Different
the
crews.
jocks would be all together, the musicians would be together, and the nerds would be all together,
Ball
and then
players.
you, I guarantee you, were sitting outside under a tree or something, reading a poem or something,
Tree
right?
crew. Well, yeah, but see, I was
Right?
okay. Go
Now,
on.
was that because you were in a group like of other people doing that, or
I was all around. You know, I've always
you're
been
cruising all around?
cruising around, and that's how I think everyone should be. Of course, people are going to gravitate to people who like the same things as they do, inevitably. But also, I think that people should have a certain type of diversity to them where they can accept whatever. Which I'm kind of contradicting myself with the whole Power Ranger Taylor Swift thing, but
I'm just giving you things to think about.
that's
Anthony.
how I am.
I'm giving you. You're getting married. You're getting older. I'm giving you things to think to broaden your horizons.
Yeah.
Why? Like they're the only Power Ranger group in the world, right? Unfortunately, they have some Taylor Swift issues. But can't you enjoy the Power Rangers together, and then say I don't want to be part of your Taylor Swift nonsense? I
Yeah.
think you should be.
You think I should be?
And what I think you should be able to do is when Taylor Swift people are like, oh, we're just going to hang out and play our Taylor Swift music while we just sit and wait for our Taylor Swift group, right? You got to stand up and be like, no!
Yeah?
Get out of here!
I'm
you know what I'm
really going
saying?
to take this advice now.
Do it.
I like it a lot.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, mind blown.
DK Oldies podcast number 5. Anthony's getting married. Congratulations. And we'll see you next week for podcast number 6.
Later.